crashes again.
Let me know if more people join. I don't want a repeat of last time where I was talking over like 4 people.
Tanky said he wouldn't show up because he's just relaxing tonight because he's back from work. So that's a thing here.
He's been road time.
He's been on the road for a bit, and well, we've got guardsmen, and we've got armor and crab here. We're going to be talking Fifth Succession War and clan reformation mostly. This is already set as premiere for tomorrow for the 3 Samurai video. Got the other Samurai coming next week. I need to paint those Aotokos that I got here. It's not a common enough mech. I don't think anybody's got some painted. It's not one of those things that is well known. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm not quite sure. It is a very odd mech. We played it in the 65 ton tonner challenge that we did earlier, the other couple months ago. We did all the clan 65 tonners beating up each other. It was quite funny. And we proved that the Hellbringer is really not good. Like really not good.
It's terrible on its own. You pair it well, it goes well. It's not meant to stand alone.
No, the armor on it.
It really needs like a missile boat config or something.
There is one, I think, but the main thing is you have too much tonnage to weapons and engines, and that means you have no armor. So you do not treat this like a heavy mech. You treat it like a skirmishing medium.
It has less armor than a 45 tonner, so you can't even treat it as a skirmishing medium because a clan 45 tonner is going to go 8.
They were on they were on that tank gas when they were cooking that up.
And most don't jump either, so where are you getting your evasion?
You don't.
Still a 5'8" movement.
Which is
you need to be
not
going
fast
8
for
every
a clan
turn.
mech. Whoa.
Slow to clan stuff.
You are breaking up.
Oh.
It's a bit better, seems. I mean, yeah, using it as an infantry hunter, configuration D might be useful or doable. 4 plasma cannons, because infantry has to die, like, immediately. I mean, there are things you can do with a Hellbringer, but very few of them are good.
They're not going to win any fights on their own. They need backup. They need a buddy.
Oh, we had buddies. Everybody, I think, had 4 65 tonners, but I mean, the Hellbringer was getting soloed by a 1-armed crossbow or something. So it was.
Well, but the thing is that your friends can't take damage for you. You're still gonna get shot, and it's not like you can outrange them either.
No, that's why it's like the way I would run it is you put the Hellbringer behind a summoner. They have to deal with the summoner first because he's a summoner at point blank range. He's gonna hurt him.
If you're me or anybody that's used to playing games like this a lot, you're gonna blow up the Hellbringer first, anyways, because removing an activation on the other side is always a good way of making things easier for you.
And then that's when you get into the game theory of, all right, do I let you easily bring down the Hellbringer, or do you got to overcommit there? And the summoner.
You don't need to overcommit to destroy a Hellbringer. That's another thing. You look at it funny and it breaks. So it is a very unfortunate mech. But it is available in every single clan formation. There is no way around it. Every clan formation will have the Hellbringer available because it's old and people want to get rid of it. So
also, because I believe it's a brawler, if you're actively trying to go by campaign ups and make a command star, it's a nice little throwaway mech that, hey, it also has an ECM, so at least it's somewhat useful. Just keep it in the back row.
And hopefully saves itself.
Mostly, I mean, striker.
A lot of the configurations do have at least a little bit of a long range punch.
Yeah, at least. Like, I don't think there's any that's meant to be really a close range brawler. I mean, you've got ER lasers, you've got Ultra 5s. There might be some in the big one. There's a configuration with an improved Evie Gauss because reasons. You know,
we out here on that hyper accelerated pack.
Like, there's some odd ones. I remember doing the video on the Elbringer. There's some odd one, but none of them are really, top of the line.
It is nice when you see the mixed tech clan omnis. Like one of my favorites is the Ebon Jag that starts loading a Thunderbolt launcher onto it for some reason.
Some of the weapons that are just not available to the regular clans are okay when you put them on some clan mechs, but often enough you have better results with clan weapons. Yeah. Unless it's something like this here, the improved Evie Gauss, the Thunderbolts, plasma rifles, obviously, because plasma rifles are silly. They're making a heavy and a light heavy plasma rifle as well, apparently, in the new book. So we'll see how that goes.
That is entirely uncalled for.
Yeah.
I mean, the plasma rifle is already one of the best gun in the game, so they don't need more versions of it. But, it's CGL. They don't know how to write rules. Our first dig at CGL of the day.
Start the clock.
Reset the
Take your shot.
I was saying that I was positive. I was positive on most of the main channels, but in some of the back rooms, there's been some drama going on.
Hey! We made it through last week with pretty much being positive and not really.
Yeah. And I mean, this week should be pretty positive as well. I mean, we're going to be talking we're going to be talking non-CGL Battletech, so we should be more positive about that.
Yeah. My rule of thumb is be positive about the game, dog the company when they deserve it.
There's some companies that definitely do, and some companies that I'm more friendly towards. There's some that are just weird. I'll still say that Renegades, the guys who do the G.I. Joe RPG, I really like them. They just really slow at releasing the G.I. Joe books. So, but they've got Transformers, Power Rangers, My Little Pony. They got a whole lot of different things from Hasbro. So they've got a lot of different products that they're messing with. So yeah, let's just go over early 5th Succession War and Clan Reformation, just for the people who don't know about it. We don't have a whole lot of people watching, but that's to be expected with that kind of subject. It's going to be, it's less of a wide subject, but it's something that I'm working on and we've been working on, and some fun things have been popping up. So basically it's after the Truce of Tukayid, the Battle of Tukayid. Well, that's where I changed the timeline to something completely, mostly similar, but also quite different. It's basically a case of the people are less pants on Ed retarded and more pants on Ed retarded at the same time. It's hard to say at this point. Usually when I work on something like that, I try to have a team, and the team I'm basically working on is failures of leaders. So that's where I'm trying to go with. It doesn't look like I've got a whole lot for the Inner Sphere side of thing, which is the 5th Succession War. It looks like we've got a whole lot of things for the clan side of things. It's just because that's what I've been recently working on, and it's been easy to work on this recently. And Crab had submitted Operation Broken Crown for the Star Adders as well, so we've got that here. For 5th Succession War, I've got a lot of characters written for the Inner Sphere. That's what we've got a lot of. I just need to start adding like actual events, actual operations, and actual mechs blowing up, more precise mechs blowing up, let's say, than what we've got here. Big changes being that the FedCom civil war never happens, I would say, on the Inner Sphere side of things. And on the clan side of things, the big change is that the Snow Ravens take control of the clans as Ilkhan and basically tell all the clans to start behaving, and then we might actually win. So trying to get people to be less insane in a way. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes.
So failures as leaders, example, Lincolnosis. Lincolnosis is a failure as a leader. He is actually terrible. And because he is terrible, he actually dies in 3060, and just like he's supposed to. He dies at the same date or around the same date he's supposed to, just for a completely different reason in this case, because he's just a bit of an idiot and can't take no for an answer, mostly. So there's things like that going on. So yeah. Successful leaders, there's going to be quite a few as well. I haven't posted some of them yet that I've just written up this week. So let's look at a few things. Hello, spider. There is a spider on my computer monitor. I'm going to move her. There you go. So,
as long as it pays rent or kills mosquitoes, it gets to live.
There should be enough bugs in a few. It's starting already here. It's not super bad because it's usually around 10 Celsius right now, so the bugs are not completely out yet, but by next week we're probably going to start seeing a whole lot.
Blah, it was 90 today.
Ugh. Oh, yeah, I heard Virginia was getting it
about the same.
Pretty. Yeah, but you're in Arizona.
Mojave, the worst part of the desert, the one where the gas is now $5.80 about now.
Good.
Yeah, and the AC in my office was broken.
Pain.
What is that, Knight?
Oh, that was a great, ouch. I mean, now the benefit of the Mojave at least is a dry heat. You agree? If you go into Kansas and it gets hot, and I mean, we're just in the 80s now, which is great. But when it gets into 90s, 100s, and you're drinking the air, don't work in a trailer when you're drinking the air. That you will.
No, that's the anytime it gets over 75.
Yeah, I used to live in the swamp side of Houston, so yeah, 105 degrees with 130% humidity or something. Yeah, just drowned by walking outside.
I imagine how many horrendous exoplanets there are. Can you imagine having to get out of your mech? You're in a laser boat mech. Your life support system's damaged, so you've been cooking, and you have to then pop the cockpit and step out onto Arrakis.
Well, at least it's a dry heat. I have a write up for. Does anybody here know the old Sears air conditioning commercial?
I know you've talked about it. I can't remember it.
Okay. It might have been an Indiana thing because my wife remembers it, and a lot of people seem to. And I have a write up for double heat sink kits. I might actually do it as a skit or something.
Nice.
So yes, we are working on the Fifth Succession War, which is an alternate universe. Basically, on the Inner Sphere side of things, we'll just start with since that's not what we're going to try to focus on today. On the Inner Sphere side of things are mostly similar at first, but then Katrin Steiner actually doesn't manage to kill her mom. So that's
amazing.
That's one amazing thing, but that's because her dad actually survived. Our good friend Ants Davion survives his heart attack. He's just paralyzed and can't do much. So he just focuses on trying to keep the family together from that point onwards.
Just because I can't move my arms doesn't mean I can't take off my belt, Catherine.
Yes, that's basically it.
They get the caddy.
Stop the crazy before it spreads.
Katrin Steiner is one of the characters I've done a bit of focus on because I've got a story written for her. Basically, she was a failure / a bad leader, but she needs to learn and learn really quickly. So that's part of it. The Combine basically is busy fighting the clans. That's most of what they do during the 5th Succession War. They're not busy fighting anybody else because they're too busy with their own clan-related issues and civil wars. But that's just the Curitan way of life. The Capellans and the Merrick still do Operation Guerrero, but rather than doing a 6-month operation, everything goes well for the Merricks and the Liao, and things end there. This is what bogs down and turns into the 5th Succession War because everybody is now fighting, and the Fedcoms are fighting the Merricks and the Liaos, and then the Torians, and then the Canopians, and things just kind of degenerate from there. While they're also having to fight the clans, because the clans are still showing up and, trying to capture places like Ark Royal, as an example. So there's a whole lot of movement in the inner sphere side of things. Do I have the maps anywhere? Yeah, I still have the maps. I don't know if it's the latest updated version. I've got to add a few capital because there's things that I'm trying to mess with. But this would be the end of the era in 3067 at the end of the Truce of Tukayid. So, I mean, the big gray blob here is clan space. Clan space is no longer split between the clans. Clans are, the clans, and they work together as the clans. Well, more or less. They still get into it with each other frequently enough, but they're more unified than they were before. That's basically what the Reformation is all about, what Lynn McKenna wants to have them do. She basically wants to reform the Star League and the Star League Defense Force before taking Terra.
There's still a lot of infighting, but they share the kitchen.
Exactly. They will punch each other, but if there's someone else to punch, they will go and punch them before they punch each other again. Does that make sense?
Somewhat.
Each of the clans are allowed to have a world that is theirs in the inner sphere. So I've already started putting those out. I think this is the version with, okay, Apollo has not been switched over here because Apollo's the Goliath Scorpions capital. Santander is the Snow Raven capital. Shane Clusters is the Diamond Sharks. We'll keep calling them the Diamond Shark because they're not the Sea Foxes yet. So, and they might not turn into the Sea Fox. They might just remain Diamond Sharks. Those are the ones that I have set up. I'm not sure where I'm going to put the others, like where the Els horses will want to set up camp, and where the Cloud Cobras, we don't know where they're at either. We know where the Star Adders are because they took Ark Royal, so they decided that Ark Royal was their capital.
Can we zoom out a little bit?
Yes.
So in Battletech mainline, Hell's Horses basically runs west to the Lyran front. I was gonna say you could since they are kind of the combined arms, vaguely Mongol, you could put them over on the Curitan border.
Yeah. I mean,
attempting to avenge the divine wind.
The thing is, the Curitan border is where there's going to be a whole lot of clan fighting. So that's
as I'm saying, another clan to the dog pile is another reason why the Koreans aren't getting involved in the FedCom fumble.
Well, they're kind of friendly with the FedCom during that period, so there's that as well. So, I mean, Omi is going to marry Victor because Isis married Sun Tzu, so he can't marry her. And I've got no reason to kill Omi, so there is that. But because Victor marries Omi Kurita, there's no way he's going to take over the FedCom, because there's no way the people in the Robinson region and the Dragoness March
they're going to let
that.
They're going to let Kuritan anywhere near a lever of power.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Victor is another failure of a leader. Unfortunately, kind of to be expected. He's a military man and not a politician. But that's what most of the Steiner Davions are at this point in time. The one I've got my eye on for leadership after Ants dies is more Peter, which is a bit more serious of a character. Okay, he's also Joe Rogan from what I wrote there, but that's okay.
What about Arthur?
Be
Arthur
different than
dies because that's the role of Archer Steiner Davion, is to die.
Oh God.
What was that crap?
Different than having Adam step in.
Adam's busy being Adam and fighting the clans on the clan front. And he's going to be doing that a whole lot during that period, so it's okay. The thing
gotta
is,
avenge my home planet.
Well, the thing is, he still hasn't recovered his own planet because that's what happens.
And it's really far back in the clan spear.
It is pretty deep in clan territory. And even the second world that he liberates, they lose again because, I mean, it's behind clan lines one, it's again. So, it makes things difficult. But they're going to be fighting a whole lot of stuff over here. But that's Jackson Davion, Adam Steiner, and not Arden Sortek, his nephew, Arden's cousin. What's his name again? Arden's cousin is Bishop Sortek. That's their job to keep this more or less in line during the Fifth Succession War. While you've got Caesar Steiner fighting over here, you've got Morgan Assek fighting over here, you've got Stefan de Cremon Davion fighting over here, you've got Peter Steiner fighting over here. There's a whole lot of fighting going on. And it's all inner sphere stuff versus inner sphere stuff. So no clan gear, no super advanced weird stuff showing up. It's clan tech is a long forgotten thing in the Fifth Succession War, except on those two fronts where they're fighting the clans. And in the Rassalig Republic, but that's another story for another time. Once again, you see, they grew. Rassalig actually grew back. They took back things.
Look at them.
I see Brazahog and Comstar, or part of Comstar, getting a little closer than they were before.
No.
This
is the reason why Rassalig's winning. It's this guy. It is this guy and his mercenaries and his ambition. He wants Rassalig to win for a good reason. He really doesn't like the clans. Mackenzie Vickers, no longer Wolf, really doesn't like the clans. Really doesn't like them. He also kills Natasha Kerensky. But that's a better death than being fried to death by jump jets. And that was a really weird one.
Oh, the Mech Warrior Joanna thing?
Yeah. That's a really odd one. Someone related to the Wolf's Dragoon, where Natasha Kerensky fought for the longest time, be the one to kill her. I think that makes more sense. And it's more poignant.
There's a bit more narrative weight to it of former ally being the one to put you down.
I mean, Natasha's the one who trained Mackenzie Vickers in the end. So that makes a big thing here.
Jesus Christ.
There might be a small trickle of it. There's probably going to be, the Prometheus, the big dire wolves that the two princes have, and a few different things here and there for clan tech. But the majority of people are just going to be like, yeah, this is my fancy ER medium laser that does the same damage as a regular medium laser, but shoots farther, rather than this is my pocket large laser. Very big difference between the two.
Even then, as I recall, the actual clan mechs that became available to the Andersphere, or at least it's on the master unit lists, are like very basic designs. And no, the Daishi is the Direwolf and Timberwolves are typically not on that list.
I mean, none of them would be on that list to begin with. I mean, you shouldn't be able to get these things easily. For the gameplay people rather than the lore people, I've started revamping things and we've started putting things out. I'll need to steal your stalker upgrade again, Crab.
No biggie.
I think I've got the PDFs, but I don't have the MTF files, which I would need to fill things out. Basically, I do want basic things to move along. Upgrade of the Star League mechs to clan grade, basically. Not sure if I really want to upgrade the Crim Crab, though, because it wouldn't be super common because it was replaced by the Supernova, but there would have been a bunch in Brian Cash's anyways. So this is a one that I'm not 100% sure about. The other one's more than likely.
King Crab becomes the go-to command mech for Salama units instead of some of the more expensive 2Cs getting pressed to front lines. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, as we look through the royal list, there's a few things that I might add on there. The Crusader, as an example, there's no Crusader 2C. There's no Crusader C.
Back in a second.
But the Crusader was a very Star League heavy mech. So that's another one that I keep thinking about. Maybe
is there actually a royal version of the Crusader?
There is, yes. It's the 2R.
The Crusader C is called a crossbow.
No, the crossbow is the crossbow C. Because there is a crossbow already.
Honestly, I would. The Crusader might be one of those mechs that they actually bump up in tonnage, and it becomes the Jupiter.
Because I mean
that's a bit of a stretch for me to go from crossbow to Jupiter.
No, the Crusader.
Oh, Crusader.
Even there, it's very different mech. But then again, the Phoenix Hawk 2C is a thing.
An 80-tonner.
The Phoenix Hawk 2C is a thing.
It's a special one.
Oh, did I? I think I forgot to add it to some of the lists. The Phoenix Hawk 2C. I think most people would have it. So,
well, here's where I'm going to go with it. You turned the machine guns into the LB2Xs that the freaking Jupiter has. The shoulder racks stay the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna think about it. It might just be, like you said, just their Jupiter becoming available earlier than. Oh, I think it's because I've got a missed link here. The link is not linking properly. My bad.
Very silly idea. The Scorpions invents the Star Crusader way early and without the streak LRMs.
I mean, that's not a something outside the realm of possibility in my book. That's things I'm thinking about here. I don't think the Phoenix Hawk 2C is on the Mandrill's list, but I don't think I put it in the adders list.
And it should be.
And it should be, yes. So I'm going to go edit page. I'm going to go add it. See, that's what's great about doing your own stuff, because you can be like, I forgot something. I don't have to print an errata and tell people to go look at it online. I can just go and change it. Oh, yeah, the Naga 2 is also far more omnipresent in the list I'm doing.
I mean, considering PGI threw it into the last expansion pack, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Naga, but where the Arrow 4s are not built in.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
I mean, the technology doesn't really change, so it's not like it's
the chassis itself is the same. It's the
it's the non-locked arrows.
And yes, we'll look at the Mandrill Spirit War in a second. On the clan side of things, the Snow Ravens win the election of Ilkhan because Ulrich Kerensky failed at Tukayid, so there's no reason why he should have stayed Ilkhan after that. Even though he's the only one who won, he still lost at Tukayid, and he lost it for all of the clans, right?
He made the deal. He signed a bad deal, a terrible deal, worst deal in the history of deals.
If the others had actually listened to him, then it might not have been the worst deal. But you know, Ulrich's a good example of someone that maybe you should have listened to, and you didn't.
He's a bad or a good leader who nobody listened to.
Exactly. So basically, they go back to Astronomek T, and they have to elect a new Ilkhan. And basically, the Falcons try to posture that they're the best. The Smoke Jaguars keep posturing that they're the best. And everybody ends up looking at them, and they're like, no, you guys also fucked it up. Especially the Jags, where you lost the Battle of Lucian, and you lost at Wolcott. And
you blew up Turtle Bay.
Yeah, that's also in the list of reasons why they... You know,
nobody listens to the Smoke Jags.
Nobody should listen to the Smoke Jags, and nobody should listen to the Falcons because they're about as bad. So you know, things.
Did the Falcons at least get their draw?
What do you mean?
In Tukayid.
Yeah, I mean the Falcons were not the worst of the bunch.
So basically, bad. It's the same. It's the Can storyline where the Wolves won, the Ghost Bears de facto won because they caused a crap ton of damage, and the Falcons just because one guy sacrificed himself and took down like 2 companies.
The Nova Cats are the one who dealt the most damage to to Comguard, technically.
Yeah, with all their drop ships falling on them.
There were some issues. Yes.
We won't talk about how it happened. It's just
it happened.
Now
the Diamond what's up?
Now Jade Falcon, I mean, yeah, they're evil just like the Smoke Jaguars, but their saving grace is they have a good banking system. So if you're gonna be evil, be sure to have loans you can call upon. Keep people so people still keep you in line.
Thing is, the Jade Falcons, it's incredible to say this, I know, but the Jade Falcons are the smarter of the 2 evil factions.
Actually, during the invasion, they were actually indebted to the Snow Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Snow Ravens were loaning them like 5 or 10 warships. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got it. Well, bear in mind, you know, they did the whole thing with the with the Diamond Shark Sea Fox thing because they were competitors, and you're seeing that in the main storyline. Aside from this, it's a segue. I do apologize, but it's you know, they are the in terms of like clan tech, they are the number 1 competitor to Clan Greed Weasel. I mean, I'm sorry, Sea Fox, but that you know they're but that's their niche.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of things going on here. And the biggest thing is that all the clans that remained behind, Well, not all of them, because the fire mandrills and the blood spirits are a thing, but most of them are like, yeah, you guys messed it up, and you messed it up bad enough that we can't actually move forward anymore. And everybody basically piles on to Jade Falcon, piles on to Smoke Jags. The Ghost Bears basically are like, yeah, but maybe we could be Ilkan, and just everybody just looks at them and be like, no, just you're the ones who did the worst, and then you were okay at Tukayid. Congratulations. The Wolves are out of the contest to begin with, so things go all over the place.
Vipers get a participation trophy and then told to sit down and be quiet.
What's his name at that point? I can't remember what the name of the Khan of Steel Viper is at this point, but it would be a case of where, like, can I be Ilkan? Who are you again? Who let
this child in here?
At least
it's not Tani.
At least the Nova Cats at that point already know that they can't be Ilkan because they've had a vision about it at some point, and that's what drugs do to you. No, that's the Goliath Scorpions. That's what drugs do to you.
I actually say the Coyotes have a
Coyotes too.
Yeah.
The 3 clans that actually make it to the second round of voting are the Coyotes, the Smoke Jags, and the Snow Ravens. Smoke Jags because all the other Crusaders that are still Crusader and working with the Crusaders vote for them. A bunch of people vote for the Coyotes, especially the Wardens that were out in the inner sphere. And Snow Ravens, well, they're the ones who made the whole deal in the back rooms, including a deal with the Coyotes to actually become the Hilcon. So there is that. Well, technically, the deal was the Cloud Cobras, the Snow Ravens, and the Coyotes would split the vote between the 3 of them. And then the one who got the most vote between the 3s would be the one to win. But Cloud Cobra decided, rather than me trying to be the next leader, I'm actually going to promote Clan Snow Raven. Because Din Snyder didn't want to be a leader, didn't want to be Ilkan. So he promoted the Snow Ravens, and that's why you've got more votes for the Ravens.
And you still eliminated the Burroks, right? Because I thought that was like after Tukayid.
Burroks annihilations in 58, and I don't think I want to eliminate them. I want them to be the torn in the side of the inner sphere. The one clan that just floats around and actually does piracy.
Acts like a pirate force.
Yeah, like they go around, be pirates, be assholes, you know.
Yeah, we were gonna do a thing with them, and Snow Raven are going after the over there. There was
the Outworlds Alliance. I mean, they just go everywhere, and you know the clans would be really happy to just have a bunch of food, a bunch of fancy clothes, a bunch of fancy things. And when you ask the Burroks, how did you get those things? They just say, it fell out the back of the dropship. Not my fault.
That was also the reason why the adders were able to go after Ark Royal, because, hey, I didn't lose half my frontline galaxies absorbing someone because someone else decided to butt in. Thanks, Jags.
Lincolnosis, you deserve all the hate you get.
Excellent. That means they still have those 2 clusters of Protomechs, right?
Oh, Protomechs. Protomechs are going to be...
I didn't write it in specifically. It was kind of a hash note. I'm planning on expanding it a little, but there were, I believe it was like 2 or 3 of the first clusters of Protomechs the adders ever received was part of, I believe, Beta Galaxy. So when they got into the city fighting on Ark Royal, all of a sudden these ultralight mechs come running out of nowhere into the city, and everyone's like, what the heck is that?
What are we doing now? Is the question. The biggest problem with the Protomechs, I've written that the Protomechs became popular after the Battle of Santander. So I'd have to check the dates on that from what I've written. I mean, there are important points. There are important things that we are starting to point out. And yes, the Snow Ravens win the vote, and the Blood Spirits and the Fire Mandrills try to abstain, but they're not allowed to. And this will become important later. You know that little meme from our friend Mickey Mouse? This is an important thing that we'll circle back to later.
See, I always thought at one time when nobody was looking, the Blood Spirits would just disappear.
And you don't know why. Okay, yeah, the Battle of Santander is 5960. Broken Crown is 62, so people would start having protomechs. That's the Snow Ravens trying to take a homeworld in the inner sphere, and our good friend Lincolnosis saying, "No, I am going to defend the world that I conquered in Santander." And everybody's like, "No, stop! Just you really want to fight for a rock with barely anything on it?" And the Smoke Jags, being the Smoke Jags, they do, but they brought protomechs because they tested them there. Well, and everybody's like, "Well, those things actually work in defensive positions. That's great. I like protomechs now." And that's when people start buying them and start building them. That explains it.
Then Snow Raven brings a warship, and warship versus defensive positions.
You're not supposed to orbital bombard. You're not supposed to do this. There's a lot of things that you're not supposed to do anymore.
The airy suggestions. Got it.
No, those are the McKenna edicts that are less suggestions, especially when you're the Snow Ravens and you're the
Ilkhan.
Yeah. You can't really do that anymore.
That guy can hope.
And we'll just quickly go over the Battle of Santander. Basically, our good friends, the Snow Ravens, tell the Lincolnosis, "Hey, we want to take that. We want that world as our capital. Is that okay?" And then they're like, "No, we don't want to." "Okay, well, can we do a trial of possession for it? I'll bid a star, you bid a star, and everything's fine." "No." So things people get a bit angry, and
understandably,
and basically they bring a naval assault star over Santander and are like, "Yes, we're now taking the world." And the galaxy commander on the planet is a provisional galaxy, so they're already poorly equipped, but they've got protomechs. They've got the brand new things. So they actually managed to defend the place fairly well with those protomechs, battle armors, and all that stuff. But when the other guy has a naval fleet in orbit, they can repair their mechs in orbit, bring them back, and all you have is Santander. Things just.
Mm-hmm. Who was the other? It was Smoke Jaguar, right?
Yeah.
They were never known for their aerospace forces.
There you go. So the Ravens win. Psy Galaxy just like, "Okay, give us a Gira, we'll leave, and you guys have the planet." And then they send a message to the iConsole, and now there was two things that Lincolnosis could have done: accept the loss and let the Ravens take Santander, which is what most of the cons expected, or do a trial of refusal, which was likely not going to be accepted, and he was going to still have to sit on it. But there was a third option that nobody expected, that Lincolnosis challenged the Ilkhan to a trial of position for the position of Ilkhan. And everybody's like, "No, that's not happening." Then Lincolnosis gets mad and starts beating up people in the Clan All. And his own Sakan is the one that says, "No, you get out." And after that, well, of course, there's a trial of grievance between the Khan and the Sakan, and Brandon Owell just shoots the battle armor with an ERPPC, and you know what happens when an ERPPC, it's a battle armor. There's not much left of the battle armor.
Lamau.
Someone was a bit overconfident, let's say.
Local man reduced to basic elements because of hubris.
Just a bit overconfident. Not too much.
Not too much. So what this battle tells people is that Protomax actually works, so maybe we should start buying them. And the Snow Ravens start moving a whole lot of people to Santander and start building a whole lot of things on Santander because they want that place to actually be a capital and not just a former pirate world. So Battle of Santander, not very long, but fairly influential in the grand scheme of things. What else here? We're going to start. We had the elections. The McKenna edicts themselves, they're basically what the clans do to try to reform the society, because Lynn McKenna looks at the clans and she's like, yeah, we messed up during the invasion because we're actually not very good at what we're meant to be doing, which is taking Terra, controlling land, and being great. We're great at being warriors in one-on-one fights. That is a thing that we're really, really good at. But once the fight actually goes, things go sideways. So she starts reforming things, really like the Reformation in the Middle Ages. You know, let's nail a bunch of thesis on a wall and say, like, this is what I want. Now let's try to fix it. So she does get a clan council to do it. And rather than, just being like all of her friends, she starts and goes and pick up warriors and scientists and merchants from everybody and every other clans just to let's try to figure this out together.
Go team, as it were.
Like I said, her goal is to recreate the Star League and the Star League Defense Force. Once we've got that going, maybe we can take over the place. Maybe that'll work better. And of course, it's a little bit more flexible than the Star League Defense Force would be because each of the armies, each of the clan is its own army and has its own logistics, its own everything. So it's not as centralized, which is not a bad thing either. It's just a different way of looking at things. First edict is the edict of competency. That word, I can write it but never say it. So one of the things is that they know that the spheroids might be barbarians, but they actually know what they're doing because they've been fighting for a long time and they've been fighting on a much larger scale than the clans have been. So let's stop thinking that they're just barbarians and that they're going to roll over. Let's start studying what they're doing, what they've done, and what they will be doing. And that old Zelbringen thing, that sounds really good on paper when we're fighting each other, but when we're fighting the inner sphere, maybe not the best thing to have. So a simple enough thing in the first a little bit here. The second thing is that the Ilkhan realizes that there's a bit of a difference in manpower between the clans and the inner sphere power. Just a small one. Like if you look, New Avalon has a larger population than all of clan space in 3050. That's one planet. Could that count as a little bit of a problem for the clans?
Yes.
Strangely
little.
So one of the plan is that rather than killing, 80% of your Trueborns during that training that they do to Recipco, let's, try to keep those Trueborns alive and try to use them rather than losing them. That's a revolutionary thought. And that's mostly thanks to Aiden Pride because, Aiden Pride messed it up and then proved that he was able to do good stuff later on. So rather than kill everyone and just wash out as much Trueborns as possible, even if they fail at their blooding, I mean, you can be a second line warrior. You can be in a Salama division. You can be, provisional galaxies, stuff like that. You're still trained as a mech warrior.
That's what I was one of the things I looked at. It was like, at some point if they were really looking at it as an invasion, they would need every warrior possible. So anybody who actually survived to the trial position, their initial one, should probably be a warrior to lead up to the invasion. It's just logistics 101.
That's what they're switching over at this point in terms of their what they're now doing.
Their training doctrine.
Yes, their training doctrine changes significantly for the Trueborns, for the Trueborn portion. For the Freeborn portion, no, that can stay as cutthroat and as mad as possible. That's okay. But once they're washed out of warrior training, okay, now that they're washed out of warrior, rather than making them feel bad and feel inferior all the time, no, you're actually going to do good training on them for technicians, laborers, scientists, merchants, because you are going to have an increase in trade goods and maintenance and all that stuff because you're going to have more population and you're going to need leaders in the labor caste. You're going to need leaders in the technician caste.
And that almost sounds like Kerensky's original idea.
And you're going to need people in the science caste because you're going to have to move your operations from clan space to inner sphere space, so you actually need like 2 sections of 2 groups.
Mm-hmm. So the Trueborns that actually truly wash out, because there's going to be some, there's some that get too injured that you can't fix, or people that are just completely unable to be proper warriors. You send them to the scientist cast and the merchant cast because those are where the higher quality people should be. And, give flexibility, give all sorts of things to people in these situations so they can, grow and make things work better.
Yeah. Give them a little room to wiggle rather than, screwed up, you're gone.
You're a laborer going forward, boy.
We're gonna grind you in the paste because you stubbed your toe on your trial position. Kill it.
A thing that I've started writing, like right before the stream here, was talking about paramilitary police, which is a thing that is not talked about a whole lot in clan books and everything. But this is basically the clan police.
Unfortunately, the one book it was covered, or 2 books, it was one covered, the most recent one, it became a coupling fest.
Yeah, there you go.
Crusader clans is mentioned at least that a lot of the provisional galaxies, that when they get parted out, they become the paramilitary police force.
It's basically your warriors that are not able to make the cut above like minimum, things like that. It's the not very good people that we're getting.
Or it's warriors who, for some political reason, are not being promoted. That's what happened in that one story where the guy accidentally shoots the leg off of one of his other people, and they hold it against him, and they just say, "You're going to be this infantryman, but you're going to be classified as a mech warrior because reasons."
That's weird.
But you don't get a mech.
So what I'm just writing for paramilitary police is that, we're going to expand that role because during the invasion, there's definitely not enough police to take care of all the worlds that they're taking over. And you have to have warriors do the job, and warriors don't want to do the paramilitary police job. They want to do, the warrior job. So this is going to be like, you want to join the paramilitary police? Congratulations. We're going to test you. And are you able to hold a baton and beat up a protester? Yes. Congratulations. You are now paramilitary police.
Here's your shotgun.
Are you able to hold one of those radar speed gun? Yes. Are you able to read the numbers on it?
No. Okay, you're still good.
just say that he's going too fast. True enough, you don't need to really know the numbers. You just need to know that if it's over 100, you can arrest them, or you can at least, give them a ticket.
That does sound like not being able to read, but being able to accurately determine how fast someone is going.
Yes.
Just hold down the trigger and yell, "Stop resisting."
But what I'm writing here is because this is for the clans. It's still not a great thing, but I mean, if you're a laborer and you can go to paramilitary police, it's pretty cool. But for the people in the inner sphere civilians that are basically, not very well liked or well positioned in the clan environment, and you're like, do you guys want to become police officers? I think most of them will go, yeah, police officer sounds good. What do I get? Oh, I get a better house and more money, and yeah, I'll become a police officer. I'm fully okay with that.
And a beating stick.
And the beating
Very
stick.
important is the beating stick.
Then again, it might switch over to actually, being closer to actual police. But then again, the police in the U.S. is special. Police in Canada is no better. Is police good anywhere?
I got my badge today. Sister Mama is so proud of me.
At least in Quebec, it's a 3 years degree to become a police officer. You need to do basically it's a trade school / technical class. You need to do 3 years to become a police officer here. So at least they've got, a couple years of training rather than, 6 weekends and a slap on the back.
It's 6 weeks is the minimum.
Yeah. A lot of them are 18 weeks.
There you go. Much better. Still not 3 years.
No. Locally, it is you have to have an associate's degree plus 18 weeks of class.
So I don't know exactly what it is in various locations. So
it varies from place to place.
Yes.
And the sheriff's elected.
Yes.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah, but he needs to be competent. Some of them are very competent from what I've seen. And some of them are just weird.
Yeah, I digress. Anyway.
Third edict, the edict of reactivation. Everything that was modballed, every single bit of weapons and equipment that we have, we're going to need it.
Makes sense.
So that's why I have a technical readout. Clan Reformation, and a good chunk of it is redoing those old mechs, redoing those old vehicles, redoing those old planes. All of that stuff will be brought to a more recent standard and more functional. I do need to finish that up and start writing a bunch of them. But
are you going to add any of the Golden Age mechs or anything, or Golden Century?
Well, there's some that I've already thought of, like the Night Chanter, Spirit Wall stuff. There isn't that many, but there's a few of them. Yeah, well, I might look at it.
Those, I believe, were mostly because Operation Klondike, and those have the prototype EC variants with the. It's not quite a clan laser, but we're getting close, kind of a thing.
And I was going to throw out: are you going to add in the Wolverines?
No, those things are destroyed and will never be spoken of again.
But there are things. Snow Ravens brought back the pulverizer.
However, we do have these wonderful conjurers over here.
Yes, those not Wolverines. They are definitely not Wolverines. But no, I've done a few of them up here. I've got the Night Chanter. There was the Night Chanter Prime, which is a crab, 45-ton crab with weird laser setup. And there was a Night Chanter A with A-pods and an LRM-10. And this was just weird, but I mean, it existed. Those are from
they're like a little source book about like
Turning Point Foster. That's what it says here. Yeah. So it's a battle between the Fire Mandrills and the Coyotes.
I don't even know what the Night Chanter is, so that's scary.
It's a crab.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
literally crab.
It's a clanified crab, but they made it 45 tons.
Yeah.
It lost
Thank you. That was
the Night Chanter and the Spear Walk were like early experiments into Omnitech, where they're building like
They're trying to build Omnis as quickly as possible.
So you said they were in one of the turning points. That
turning point Foster.
Yeah, there's only like 4 between the Night 4 variants between the Spirit Walker and the Night Chanter. But the idea was they have all of these spare Crab and Black Knight chassis from the Star League Exodus that they're able to kind of use them as a jump start to spin up into new Omnis for experimentation.
Yep.
Oh,
it's not a very good mech, but we have them, and we have a lot of crabs and all those Brian caches we're opening. So we're gonna turn as many of them as we can into this cheapish Omni. I mean, if an Omni mech that's 5 million is cheap.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's an easy to produce Night Chanter.
Also, Spirit Walker is pretty good.
No, the Spirit Walker's it's a Black Knight, so it's a good start. Yeah. So I made the Night Chanter B after I made all the others because I thought there was a Night Chanter B already. So I was like, oh, well, I'll have to create a Night Chanter B. So I went with a Narc Pod in the center torso, 4 SRM6 in the arms, and 2 LRM5 in the shoulders. Because reasons. The LRMs was because I had room left and I just wanted to make something different. But I mean, this is very different from a Crab. There is that. Night Chanter C. Night Chanter C is a Crab. Literally, it's a Crab. It has 2 ER large lasers in the arm, an ER medium in the center torso, and an ER small in the head. It is a Crab. But it has jump jets. So it's a bit more mobile than a normal Crab. What was the D? Oh, the D is the ATM boat. Pair of ATM 9s. Because it's always funny. And Night Chanter E is an AC-10 boat, Ultra AC-10 boat, which is always nice on a 45-tonner. I mean, it's a slow 45-tonner at 5.8, but, that means you got more room for other things or can use basic tech. And the Night Chanter H is because some people, I need some people to hate me. So
heavy weapons.
5 heavy medium lasers, a targeting computer, an ECM, and an active probe.
Oh, I'll take that. I'll take the entire stock, and I'll raise you one more. I built a long time ago. I just found it because you were talking about it. Mm-hmm. A Night Chanter based off the Royal Crab. So it jumps 5, and it has 5 medium pulse lasers and an AMS.
That also works. Oh yeah, by the way, that Night Chanter H with all the heavy lasers, it runs cool.
Fuck.
I will take all of those. Thank you very much. Please and thank you.
It runs at 37.8 out of 38. I was like, maybe I could add more heavy lasers. No, I'm gonna add more heat sinks. I'm gonna make this thing like 8 full, and it's only 1,451 BV. It's not even that BV intensive.
I was gonna say, take the we're running that 5 medium pulse lasers. Drop 1 for an SRM pod, so you can crit seek a little bit or load some special.
No, just heavy lasers are fun. Heavy lasers deal.
Yeah,
10 damage.
I like that.
Wait,
I like that one more.
Also, you keep that just nothing heavy lasers because that way you don't have anything that goes boom when you just keep alpha striking over and over again.
Probe and ECM and target. Yep. It hits it hits my funny bone in a very hilarious spot.
There you go. It's a Clan Vindy. I mean, the one with an ERPP. Did I have one? Did I make one with an ERPPC? There is one with an ERPPC. Yeah, ERPPC, 2 machine guns, an LRM-10, and ER medium. Yeah, the Night Chanter A is a Clan Vindicator. But it doesn't jump. It goes 5.8 instead of jumping. But in terms of weapons, it's basically a Vindicator. But the ERPPC is in the center torso rather than the arm. But, that's how it is. Other things that I've messed with, the Chevalier light tank. that truck with a big gun on it. I mean, it didn't make anything fancy out of it. It's basically the same thing, an ER large laser on a turret. Swapped the S-Streak 2. They had a pair of Streak 2s on it. I replaced it with 2 regular SRM2, one pointing forward, one pointing backwards, with 2 tons of ammo, so you can bring smoke or all sorts of funny rounds.
Why not just turret mount both SRMs?
Well, no, because the turret might point in another direction while the missiles do something else. That's why I did it that way. I mean, this is a paramilitary police truck. That's the big APCs that they bring, or the big armored vehicles that they bring for the police. That's basically what this thing is. It's meant to, the SRMs are meant to be filled with smoke and with, tear gas and stuff like that.
The Inferno munitions are for extraordinarily violent riot suppression.
Exactly.
Acid.
Or can't you throw a Molotov at me, I will fire them back at you.
Ugh. Oh yeah, it has a targeting computer too, because targeting computers are cool.
Oh, you could always use vehicle flamethrowers and then load in water for a water cannon. Yeah.
Or you use the fluid gun?
Water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fluid gun, just water.
I might do a variant of the Chevalier C that's closer to that, fluid guns, things like that. A true police vehicle.
Put a T-Semp on it for disabling unregistered vehicle activity.
The biggest problem is that the T-Semp is such a futuristic weapon in the end. I know Tanky doesn't like the T-Semp, but that would be a reason to use a T-Semp at least.
Pull the vehicle over. EMPs your car.
I mean, the vehicle is pulled over, isn't it? There you go.
Give it another, I believe it'd be another 20, 30 years for Protomech EMP armor to be invented. Have Protomech police force run up and then just tackle a truck and then EMP it for miles.
I mean,
Mr. Clanner, I am not driving. I am traveling in my personal vessel.
He's resisting. Switching to
He's reaching. Your Honor, he was reaching for his concealed carry crab.
Oh God.
The idea of a Clanner having to deal with a sovereign citizen is just suddenly very, very funny to me.
Your Honor, I swear it was a Rotunda that we shot at, not a convertible, a Rotunda. I swear,
it had a large
I'm not crazy.
laser. There was a large laser on the roof.
There you go.
It is not an excessive use of force.
A sovereign citizen in Clanner space is a good way to end up as paste in a hurry.
I thought that would just be somebody who just one of the guys who said, "Oh, I am not a clan citizen. I'm just a FedCom citizen," or whichever faction.
Oh, so you're rebellious. So you deny not only do you deny the precepts of Kerensky, but you are also rebelling against our lawful occupation and reinstigation of the Star League. Dead.
Get him, Jimmy.
Yeah.
No, there'd be a case where you'd probably get arrested and brought in after a good beating, just so all the other clanners can be like, "What is this? I was traveling. Maritime law.
I was traveling under maritime law."
Why did you pick this man? Well, just listen to him.
That flag of the Star League is not fringed, therefore we are in a military court.
All things that I've heard watching some trials. And then
they would even demand different trials.
I demand a trial by combat. Sends in the elemental.
No, that would be the most hilarious thing. Like someone going, "I demand a trial by combat" when dealing with the clans.
Suddenly they're very, very happy on what to do with you.
So at some point you're having like a Judge Judy situation and some two families are duking it out and one is particularly pissed off over a life insurance policy. So they declare a trial of annihilation on the relatives.
I do not consent to this, but child, that is a starting ability flag. You don't have jurisdiction over me. Welcome.
The inner sphere is flat.
Strangely enough, yes, but that's how weird they've done it.
Hey, at least they finally took out the star lanes again.
Oh, well, yes. That was the silliest thing. I've got a Vedette 2C because that thing's built by everyone, everywhere, for all reasons. So we've got a Vedette 2C now. But not called the Vedette, called the Medium Cavalry Planetary Defense Tank C. Because, well, the C might not even need to be there, but it is the Medium Planetary Defense Tank. Not to be confused with the Medium Planetary Battle Tank, which is the Guderian.
You couldn't think of an acronym? Really? Medium Planetary Defense Tank? I mean, like
MPBT. I mean, generally they're called PDTs. Those are the Scorpions, the Vedette, the Manticore. Those are your common planetary defense tanks.
okay, but still, I mean, there's got to be like a nickname for it or somewhere.
Oh, I am sure everybody's got nicknames for it. We were also looking at the Imp C that already exists and the Shogun C that already exists. Those things are disgusting, like absolutely horrible machines of death. Still worth well over 3,000 BV with a regular pilot in, and those are clan mechs. So those are not fun to fight at all. But I don't need to redesign them because, they exist already. So I'm good with that. Edict of Preservation, basically telling people stop doing trials for everything. And if you actually do a trial, like don't bid a cluster over something, like stop wasting stuff. That's the big thing. A lot of clans don't like this particular thing, but in the end, people start going like, yeah, it might be a good idea to not, blow up an entire cluster over the possession of a mech. Maybe we can limit that to, blowing up a star instead. It's a good way to look at it. The other thing is that as part of the same edict here, when you're going to Bachal the Inner Sphere, know that they're going to cheat and they're not going to register planetary militias, partisans, terrorists, and all that stuff. So, like, stop bidding stupidly and just say, like, I'm going to send a trinary to try to take over a planet. You're going to need more than that.
Just show up with a freaking cluster and just be done with it. At least.
Edict of the New League is basically we're going to centralize things a little bit and a little bit more and a little bit more. And we're going to give you your rights to do this and that, And people are going to be more ready to fight. The biggest one is what I've wrote mostly today. Rest I had written already in the past, but this I wrote today here with the edicts of the free guilds. Basically, the Inner Sphere is not going to just, join the clans. It's not going to happen. There's just no way the Inner Sphere is just going to be like, okay, well, we're going to have a caste system and no families and all that stuff. Right? So, but how can we do it? Because we're not quite sure of how that works. Well, you've got the free guilds in clan space that are separate from the clans. Can you guys go around the Inner Sphere and ask people like what they want and how we're going to do it? And yes, the caste system still exists. Yes, the system is still in place, but let's give people a little bit more freedom. Maybe they'll be able to go from one caste to the other if they actually do fairly well. Maybe for-profit work actually is a good idea for some people because it incentivizes people to actually work for you if they have an opportunity to make money, etc. And the Jade Falcons are going to be happy because their bank branches are going to have more money in them, and we're going to start being able to do interest loans and stuff like that. And, some people actually want freedom of speech, freedom of travel, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly, especially in Wrestle League space where they basically fought for it 20 years ago.
Excessively.
So maybe give them a little bit. Don't have to give them, the unlimited.
Make the Wrestle Hogs all the sovereign citizens.
That wouldn't be too surprising, though. And the last thing is that, there's some people that are never going to accept the clan way of life. So for these people, once they're identified, you grab them, you put them on a dropship, and you send them to Wolcott. Let the Draconis Combine deal with them. Oh, they're Wrestle League citizens, doesn't matter. They're Lyrans, doesn't matter. They're from the periphery, doesn't matter. They're going to Wolcott. And the Combine's going to have to deal with them.
Hey, Mr. Karita, I hear your Department of Indoctrination needs more funding. Allow me to give you a reason.
Here's 600,000 reasons over 12 months. You can imagine how bad the refugee crisis would be in that kind of situation. It would get pretty bad pretty quickly.
Hell, for Rosselhog group being threatened to, like, if you don't cooperate, we're going to send you to Karita and you're going to be their problem. They'll get some people to shut the hell up.
Quite likely, yes. Next big event in our round table here is the Mandrill Spirit War. Because our good friends in Fire Mandrill and Blood Spirits are idiots. And they've always been idiots.
They're going to square up whether or not the new boss lets them.
Basically, the new boss tells them, open your Brian caches first. And then they tell them, like, okay, let's start talking and try to figure out what we're going to do for that invasion thing we're trying to do here once the truce is over.
Win it, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do all that stuff. And what do our friends in the Fire Mandrills and the Blood Spirit do?
Square up.
No, they ghost them. Just don't talk, don't do anything, don't give any sign of life. So, the Ilkhan gets a bit mad and say, hey, Star Adders, go and check up on them. So they bring a destroyer in orbit of shadow, and they're like, hey, what's up, Blood Spirits? What's up, Fire Mandrills? What's going on? Of course, at that point, Kendra Payne and Kendra Klein are in a blood feud because they're the Fire Mandrills. And the Blood Spirits are there to actually, officiate the whole thing because, well, you can't expect the Fire Mandrills to, be nice, right? So they're there. The Ilkhan shows up with the notice. Star Adders show up with a York class, and they are like, hey, what's up? And they still don't answer. So, he's like, okay, well, we're going to reiterate the orders. We're going to keep doing that. They stay in orbit for a little bit. And then the Mandrills and the Blood Spirits send as many aerospace fighters and dropships as possible to blow up the Exodus Avenger. And it ends up being blown up by a nuclear bomb because that's what you do when you want to blow up a warship. You shoot nuclear bombs at them. And things get a little bit heated after that.
Just a little heated.
Just a little bit.
And Star Adders are like, can we annihilate them, please? Can we annihilate them? It'd be fun to annihilate them. It'd be super fun to annihilate them. Can we annihilate them? And the Ilkhan's like, no, we need everybody to actually fight. So go and tell them a little bit, more. And here, Cloud Cobra, go and help them as well. So the Cloud Cobras and the Star Adders go after the Blood Spirits and the Fire Mandrills. The one thing that is repeated to everyone is that nuclear weapon usage is banned, and if anybody else uses it once again, there's going to be a trial of annihilation immediately. This is the old the old Dune doctrine. If anybody uses atomics, everybody's going to go after you. So don't use atomics, people. So
plus nobody's looking.
Well, or things that are not people, like Paul Atreides did. He blew up the shield wall. He didn't kill people. He just blew up the shield wall.
Terrain reformation is a valid battlefield application.
Exactly. One thing here, the Blood Spirits try to ask the Diamond Sharks to come and help them. And Ian Alker's like, bitch, our old military's gone. We're not coming to help you against 2 other clans. That's a bit of an issue as well at the time. So basically, the Fire Mandrills and the Blood Spirits are fighting the Cloud Cobras and the Star Adders, not all over the place, but in a bunch of different places here. They're going to be fighting on Shadow, which is the capital of the Fire Mandrills. If you do battles on this, you should be using the Darkness and Penumbral rules, because that planet is supposed to not have any, real sun. So that's going to be a bit of a different place to fight. And the capital of the Blood Spirit on York, well, you've got more people showing up and trying to fight there. So, a whole lot of fun. I did say that there would be some fighting in space with warships, because it's fun to blow up warships or fight with warships. So,
if only we had good rules for it.
Adder's got ships to spare.
Well, the thing is, things get a little bit weirder, but still. So basically, after the war is more or less done, basically the Blood Spirits and the Fire Mandrill basically have to surrender, because they just get pounded from every single side. They come to the High Council on Stranomecti and surrender there. They have to surrender all their nuclear weapons to make sure all their Brian caches are open, and the Snake clans have first pick of all stockpile materials that they want from them. And it also includes, all warships and things like that. So if you guys want to pick up jump ships and warships that we have mobballed, well, you can take them. Results are pretty good. And the 2 clans have to work for the other 2. So Blood Spirits have to work with the Cloud Cobras for 15 years. And the Star Adders have to work with the Fire Mandrills for 15 years. Basically, they own the other clan for that duration.
Work with being used loosely here.
Yeah, basically, you do what we tell you. So the Star Adders and the Cloud Cobras are the fairly big winners here. And another thing that's fairly big is that Ilkan McKenna basically shows that she can run the show. And not, just go like, let's send my own troops to do my own things, and always the same thing. Like, let's share the love around in a way. And what is it? The Fire Mandrills replace their con, and the Blood Spirit keep their con, something like that. I'd have to reread completely here. The Cloud Cobra, I do have a capital for the Cloud Cobra. They're going to go on Gunsberg. So that's another word that I have to go and switch in my maps here. So after that, we got the actual army creation rules. Yes, I have army creation rules. It's the same that we've been using for some times here, where you have to choose between core unit, special units, and rare units. Half of your army has to be core. The other 50% is your specials and your rare, but you can't have more than 25% of rare units. So you shouldn't have too many rare. You can have a whole lot of common, and you can have specials in a little bit. The rules are here. We're going to try to look at those lists in a little bit, just to have a bit of an idea of what the fighting is going to look like. Battle armors, well, at this point in time, this is the 3054 to 56 era. Yeah. The only battle armors that are available are, battle armors. There's not really a whole lot of plan. 3056, you start seeing the gnome show it up, but that's mostly in Ellsworth, if I remember right. So the people involved in this fight wouldn't be using them. The Nighthawk PAL would also be available because it's a Star League equipment. But, that's the battle armors you have. Infantry is normally rare, but Salama units are going to have more battle armors because that's just how it is.
And don't forget your wonderful military police.
Well, I mean, they count as basically infantry, yeah. But probably with even worse stats than regular infantry.
Exactly.
And our old bunch of combat vehicles. The combat vehicles would be pretty much standardized for most of the clan. The only thing that wouldn't be standard is the what's the one Omni tank that was in TRO 3060, the Epona.
Yes.
That one would be
Ellsworth. Awesome vehicle.
Everybody else just uses the same basic vehicles and the same basic royal vehicles because those things are still in use. And some of them are very specific. Like the Padilla and the Chaparral, that's your only real artillery outside of the with
the Huey.
This
Just
guy.
Huey.
The Huey. So for other artillery roles, well, you do have that. Most of the VTOLs would be also old royal models. The only VTOL that is not an old royal model is the Donar, which is basically a warrior with a new coat of paint on it. So,
yeah, that's fair.
So we've got a whole lot of different little thing here. I might move this here for force composition. Frontline units for clans. I mean, this for the units themselves, what it looks like. Frontline units, you get Omnimex as common choice or core choices. 2 season standard battle mechs are going to be your special forces, and your frontline unit should not be using any royal battle mechs for some reason. Just an odd kind of thing here.
You got so many better things. Why is that at the front?
Exactly. Second line units have whatever is available to you. Your standard battle mechs are common choice. Omni mechs are special choices. And royal battle mech might be pressed into service as rare choices. Salama units is whatever's left. Standard battle mechs are your common choices. Your royal battle mechs are your special choices, and Omni mechs should not be available as units for Salama units, except for the rare choice for, an older or a disgraced commander or something like that. It might be possible in these kinds of situations, but it would be amazing.
But it should be like a second line Omni mech, like something like the Stooping Hawkers.
Yeah. An old thing, basically.
Like a Mark I. Like a woodsman.
A coyote, a woodsman.
Stuff built in the Golden Century. So, before the start of the clan invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing that's going to be missed. Even though some of those mechs are actually pretty good, but
rules for Fire Mandrills and Blood Spirits. They're just as good as Inner Sphere Warriors, Gunnery 5, Piloting 5. And their veterans are as good as regular clan warriors, so Gunnery 3, Piloting 4. So they are not going to be your top of the line super great warriors either. And as far as the list goes, well, I have a bunch of royals, and as far as the omnis and things like that, it's what's commonly available mainly. Firemot is actually a Fire Mandrill mech, so I could even make that common for them or more common for them. When there's a little up arrow, that means that it's more common. If there's a little down arrow, it means that it's less common. So if you were to take, let's say, a Firemot, if I put the little arrow next to it, it might become a common choice even in a second line force because, well, they've got a lot of Firemots and they're okay with giving Firemots to second line people because they've got them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, makes sense.
And if there's an arrow going down, it means that it's rarer. So if the Piranha is a standard mech, and if you want to put it in a frontline unit, it's going to count as a rare choice rather than a special choice because, well, they don't have a whole lot of Piranhas floating around. So they can't just give them to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, you got the Torn NB here as a Royal Mech. If you're really in trouble and you have to push those into service, well, you have them. See? 25 tons is fun because you've got the Locust 2C, you've got the Commando 2C. Those are great mechs. The Mistlynx is, I'd take a Commando 2C or a Locust 2C over a Mistlynx in some situations. Fire Falcons being... Mm-hmm.
I'd take it over a Mistlynx.
Fire Falcon is kind of rare, mostly because they've been in production for like 2 or 3 years. And maybe they've got some from the Jade Falcons, but not many. At 30 tons, we've got the Devil, which is a mech that was introduced in one of the modern TROs, in one of the, what do you call those? The
Rec guides.
Rec guides. It's basically a Howler with a PPC on its shoulder. Which already exists as an Owler, but this one's bigger, so it's got a little bit more armor as well. Is it good? Well, it's a PPC on legs, so yes, it's good.
Oh boy, a Clan Hollander.
Basically. The Firefly 3 SLE or the Firefly C, because Fireflies are popular. Hermes 1SB, Usser 200 DB. Those are not very good, but they are things. Incubus, which is very good, in my opinion. The Kit Fox, which is a Cloud Cobra mech, strangely enough, not after I've reviewed it. The Mandrill, which is always fun to laugh at, but it's actually a decent fire support mech. I mean, 2 LRM-20 on a 30-ton mech is quite interesting to have. And unfortunately, the Urban Mech 2C. Okay. At the 35 tons. Oh, yeah, I forgot that as well. Here, I need to add it because it does exist. There.
Turned out.
So at 35 tons, you've got the Adder that everybody has, even though it's fairly recent. Everybody has them because they were being sold to everybody.
The one mech the Adders are actually building right now in any significant numbers for cash.
I mean, does it work?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a great mech. Ornate Owl, which is also a great mech, and the fabulous Jenner 2C, which is rare for just about everybody except the Nova Cats, but I mean, it exists. There's not
which
many.
Which is weird. Mm-hmm. Because the Nova Cats traditionally are the Laser Clan.
I know. But you know, they had a vision and they had those crystals and they
a little bit too much
tarot reading and they decided to make the Jenner 2C.
And a little too much meth.
Possibly. Or mush. One of the two.
They have wandered on far winds of hashish.
There you go. That's a nice way of saying
it. Wait, no. The Goliath Scorpion visions are due to like getting stung by hallucinogenic poison.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're on that Deep Space Jenkum.
Yeah, and the coyotes just use
ayahuasca
or something like that.
Yeah.
Send them to the deep space Jenkum dungeon.
I had a deep dive on the coyotes recently. They just do it by going through the motions. They don't even believe in any of that spirituality stuff anymore, which I think is hilarious.
You gotta remember who the con who pushed that was too.
At 40 tons, you do have the Battle Cobra that people keep forgetting exists.
Yes.
Is it a great mech?
I like some of the Comstar refits for it.
It is a very odd duck, but it's also very cheap for an Omni mech. So that's a good thing. So I mean, it has its advantages.
All energy-based weaponry too, for most variants.
Yeah, but it runs aught because it doesn't have enough heat sinks. So
and it just losing the arms is you're done.
Well, it's because it's a first generation OmniMech. All the pods were in the arms back in the days, so they didn't really have a choice. So this is a very weird duck, the Battle Cobra, in terms of background to it. And then, yes, you do have those Comstar versions.
Because they got so many at Tukid. Just so many, like an unreasonable amount of Battle Cobras.
Thank you, Steel Viper.
Because the Vipers just sucked.
The Vipers were pretty damn bad, yes. They were very bad.
I mean,
hey man, they got enough to where they have their whole. I think the Battle Cobra is the OmniMech with the most variants because of the fact there's effectively an entire second production run of just all of the Comstar variants.
And also, it was easy to rebuild, wasn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't have too much of the fancy stuff in it. Just a bit like the Nova. Clint 2C, which is much superior to the regular Clint.
It's always and it actually had a video game appearance. Just you can't play it.
Oh, that's sad.
The Pirate's Coyodal, Moon for MechWarrior 3.
The Coyodal, because you have to use what you have. Griffin 2C, the Sentinel 3LB. There's a Sentinel C now that'll be available. It's much better, but this is before those are available. And the 40-ton Viper, not the 65-ton Viper, or the 75-ton Viper, or the good old Viper, which is also a Fire Mandrill mech. And it's probably one of the best mechs in that particular slot because it's really good at carrying battle armors. Great Worm. You guys know what that is?
Yes.
A clan dragon.
Pretty much.
It's a clan. It tries to be a dragon, but not really. And it's a
It doesn't get good until the Great Worm 2.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate case, and that's very much in the future.
Which is also, I believe, the Bears make the Great Worm 2 because they now have all these Rosselhog dragons lying around. I think that was the mindset behind that.
It's a very odd mech. But I mean, if we can have a reason to play it, let's play it. Ice Ferret, that's a classic. Phoenix Hawk 1B as a royal mech. It's actually a pretty decent Phoenix Hawk, so that's good, but it doesn't match the rest of what you have. Shadowcat is, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it as regular because it's a really odd production run on the Shadowcat because it's like at the start of the 31st century that it starts being available. And like people mostly were using the Ice Ferret and then people switched over to the Shadowcat or the Grendel. But the Shadowcat seems to be more popular.
I was going to say, anything that replaces the Ice Ferret's good.
That's a sad state of mind and a sad state of affairs. The Octu-C, your Royal Wyverns, which there's two versions of, and the Wyvern 2C, which is a terrifying killing machine. Conjurer, not Wolverine.
The Wyvern 2C, the mech that you go to any time that the constable needs help.
Royal Crabs. There's two versions of the Royal Crab, the 27 and 27 SL. I need to correct that here. Your good old Hunchback 2C, which is always popular. Nova's a old mech, so everyone has it. The Omni Corvus, which would have been in just enough production that everybody has a few of them floating around.
And you have to use them.
And you have to end up using them, especially when two other clans are trying to, blow you up.
Well, so, I guess the question is, would anybody be converting those into more Stormcrow
It's a different enough chassis and a different enough weight class. I mean, it's 50 rather than a 55. I mean, your actual production, you'd probably be better off doing Stormcrows than on the Corvus. But I mean, it's still a cheap OmniMech at around under 6 million C-bills.
Yeah, that's dirt cheap.
Is it good? It really varies. But I mean, the base version Ultra 10, ER large, ER medium at 5.8, it's not very good, but it's going to fill gaps in formations. It's a rare enough mech even for people that are, scraping by. So I'm not sure we're going to reopen the production of the Omni Corvus, let's say.
I could see like somebody like the Spirits or Jaguars getting desperate enough.
Royal Griffin, Royal Uplight, Royal Kintaro, because those exist. Stormcrow, everybody has Stormcrows, so that's not a bad thing to have. Stooping Auk is a Blood Spirit mech, so would be fairly common for that particular group. And that's why I added it to the Cloud Cobra Star Adder list.
Is anybody using the Kintaro 2C that was in
the Nausea? Yes.
Yeah.
The Cloud Cobras are the one building it, so they'd have some. I added the Stooping Auk to the list for the Star Adders and the Cloud Cobras because they would be recovering some from them. Vapor Eagle, actually, I'll have to change this to rarer because that's technically only the Steel Vipers really use the Vapor Eagle.
We love our Gosh Hawk. We love our Gosh Hawk.
It's a fantastic mech, but not many people use it. What do we have at 60 tons? Champions Royal, Glass Spider, which is very good. Lancelot C and C2, which are ways to lose friends.
They are a beautiful.
I love the Lancelot. I will not apologize for running the Lancelots.
Hey, there's that Lancelot in Risk that was really good too.
Yes, true.
But
this one here, Lancelot C, 3 large pulse lasers and 16 double heat sinks. I mean, this is a mech to lose friends by.
And it keeps the Lancelot's mobility too, so those lasers are running after you.
Oh yeah, it's a 6.9 triple large laser boat that doesn't overheat. That actually is probably one of the best mechs you can take as a fire mandrill. The Lupus, another antique, but I mean pressed into service because you have them. Mad Dog, everybody has them. They're pretty common mech. The Treasure, which I didn't even know exist until I saw the Treasure Mark II. So that's a thing.
It's more of a shark. It's a shark mech, if I recall. They're the ones that mostly make it. I think I'd probably be wrong.
Well, Treasure is Treasure Shark, so yes, it is.
It's basically a. In reality, it's nothing but a non-omni summoner, but
pretty much
it actually was developed after the summoner.
If I recall, too, Nikolai Malthus actually died in one when the Society finally attacked.
Yes, that's Nikolai Malthus's mech after he lost his summoner. But then he gets a Night Jeer as he becomes a Sakan, so it's not bad. He's doing a good enough. He's doing good enough in this particular.
I'm glad my suggestion paid off on that one.
I mean, the guy deserves it. He has an art enough life in the real plot. We can give him something.
Give him a cookie. Give him a cookie.
The Crossbow, another Viper mech, which is weird but functional. We've used enough that we've figured out that it's functional. Your Royal Crusader, your Elbringer, which we had a discussion about. It is a thing. Rifleman 2C, which is also really good. And the Royal Thunderbolt, because those do exist. Are they great? Yes, it's a Thunderbolt, so it's already good. but this one packs a lot of the good royal goodies like double heat sinks, so it's really good.
And I think it's like a streak too. It's got small pulse lasers. It's got Artemis in that Lerm.
And the RPPC instead of the large. It does the job. At 70 tons, you are quite limited because your two clan mechs are the Guillotine 2C and the Summoner. The rest are all royals, like an Excalibur, an Archer, Shootist, and Warhammer. I mean, all good mechs as royals. Those are all good royal mechs.
One of those few good things about CGL's new stuff is that we actually are getting new Shootists.
Incredible. Odd mech, but I like it. I mean, we just reviewed it, and it was a good mech. Black Knight 6B at 75 tons. Black Python I might actually remove from the list because it's too recent. They wouldn't be able to have any. Royal Marauders, Timberwolves, and Woodsmen. Those are... And the worst thing is, I think the Mandrill, I did put the Timberwolf as rarer, even though it's a fairly common mech, all in all.
Everyone has it almost. That
Woodsman. Like, the Woodsman, it would be more common to them because that's what they bought before, basically.
It might be common, but is it common to them, given how isolationist they are?
Gargoyles, Naga 2.
Fair.
Phoenix Hawk 2C. Royal Tug, which is good, but the Victor C, which does exist, and it's underweight by, I think, 2 tons. So you should probably do something with those 2 tons. And everybody's favorite Warhammer 2C. There's multiple Royal Battle Masters. Might actually have to add another one there. But the big 85 tonner is the Blood Kite, because the Blood Kite is hilarious and murderous. It is a
Malice.
I love him because he is a Defiance 2C.
He is a Defiance 2C that's actually good. Is that a way to say it?
Still overheats, but I mean, it's not for a lack of trying.
3 ER large lasers, you're going to overeat. 3 LARM 15, 3 SRM4s. It does everything, not very well, but it's going to kill you doing it. And it's, okay, it's expensive, but for a mech its size, it's not that bad.
And easy to maintain and rugged.
Yes, you are going to be able to keep them running, which is very important. Royal Crockett Marauder 2C. A lot of the Warhammer 2C and Marauder 2C variants you will not be able to play because those are later editions as well. The Royal Stalker, because everybody's got Stalkers. The Warhawk, we can't keep having the discussion here. The Warhawk would not be common for everyone. Even though if you look at a lot of the rats and things like that, it seems to be common enough. But if you look at plot reasons, it started production in $29.99, and by 3010, they had switched the production of all, like everything that was building the Warhawk was switched over to produce the Dire Wolf. So they wouldn't have that many floating around.
Yeah, that's
clans.
a short.
I wonder, because the Direwolf was considered the new one, the price either dropped or the Warhawk was viewed as less desirable. That's why they became more available.
I would say that some of the warriors might scoff at it because it's 4 large pulse lasers and the targeting computer or
4 RPPCs, target computer,
kind of easy mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, that's what I normally switch mine to, 4 large pulse laser and a targeting computer. So you hit at the 0 to start, and it's disgusting.
But like clans like the Nova Cats or the Goliath Scorpion, which those are their preferred loadouts.
Which in current canon, the Scorpions are the only ones that still have Warhawks.
Yep.
Because all the production was in clan space.
We don't even know if they're still building them in clan space anyways, because we'll never know. We'll never know what happened to the clans after the jihad.
But it still lives on because everyone's down with the Cygnus.
Yes, everybody's down with the Cygnus, which is a warhawk that's overweight.
We love the Cygnus. Hell's Horses W. Why not?
It is an odd duck, okay? And I do like the one with twin Ag 40s for reasons that I should not have to elaborate on.
It's a Hag 40. You hit a man in the face and he's probably going down.
It is
Marauder
quite
2C
nasty.
doesn't get one of those loadouts of 2 Hag 40s.
There's very few things that have multiple Ags. Of course, there's the Crucible, but the Crucible's not for nice people either. Islander 2C. Basically, the one thing that one of the big thing is that every Islander 732B can be converted to an Islander 2C with a little elbow grease. So those would probably be rare just because it's easy to build Islander 2Cs out of them. Kingfishers are pretty common for everyone. Supernova, fairly common for everyone as well. 95 ton, there's just nothing for like everybody, like almost anyone, but there's never been a whole lot of 95 or 95 tonner to begin with.
Yeah.
The Cygnus is one of them, but I mean, that's the list of all 95 tonners available.
And most of them are late editions.
Yes. Some of them are good, some of them are great, and some of them are just weird. But I mean, that's what we have. Executioner B and Executioner, because we'll probably need to find another name for this one and maybe give it a different body kit. And well,
that was a stupid decision by them.
The 9-star 9J, well, the basic 9th star is a Royal Mech, and it'd still be good in this particular situation because a pair of Gauss rifle is a pair of Gauss rifles. Whether
And
they're
it would gain
intersphere or
6
clans,
tons.
you know, it's still good. And I mean, if you were to modernize the Night Star, well, things get funny. But then again,
yeah, because you instantly gain 6 tons if you just switch to Gauss
7,
rifles.
because you have an ERPPC, and you rather than a
I was just going with the Gauss.
Yeah, you gain a lot of tons, and you gain space for it because the eat sinks turn into 2 slots rather than 3. And I mean, making a clan Night Star would be probably pretty nasty. But I mean, we've got already
you're getting almost close to actually being able to fit a 3rd Gauss rifle in there instead of the ERPPC.
I see you Zeroids prefer the Gauss rifle. I too enjoy the Gauss rifle. Behold.
The thing is, I mean,
Gauss shotgun.
You've got the Mad Cat 2, you've got the Stone Rhino, you've got many double Gauss both. The Mad Cat Mark II is late though, 3066. I thought it was in production before that, but then again, that might be modified if we keep playing in this year. Atlas 2, Bane, Imp C, King Crab Royal, and Storm Giant, because the Fire Mandrills and the Blood Spirits wouldn't have the Dire Wolf, which is a thing that the Cloud Scorpion and not the Cloud Scorpion, the Cloud Cobras and the Star Adders would have, which is a big
Iron
advantage.
Cheetahs.
And potentially Iron Cheetahs. The thing is with the Iron Cheetah, it has existed for a long time, but it was only codified recently, which is a weird thing to say.
Because it was originally Raupartha, or not Raupartha, a Mech Force magazine mech or something like that.
Basically. But I mean, they basically took it.
Well, I mean,
it's a fast Dire Wolf, which is good.
I was gonna say it was probably more that it was you know, it was from that era where they were actually afraid to use anybody else's stuff.
Well, I mean, it's different enough from this, and I mean, it's just one thing that showed up, and I mean, it's that you can do your own thing, and I mean, the Iron Cheetah is kind of good, anyways. You know, the Prime has 2 ER PPCs and a Gauss rifle, so you go 3 ed cap weapons to begin with. So I'd have to do a couple games, Iron Cheetah versus Dire Wolf, to see which one ends up with the better results. Because I've played both, but I'm not sure if I put one against the other, which one would come out on top, basically. I don't know if anybody's had experience with the Iron Cheetah.
No, because it's like you said, it's theoretically very new ish.
A couple guys at my shop have one, but every time somebody brings like a Dire Wolf or an Iron Cheetah, it immediately invokes Headshot Doom. You brought a quarter here. You brought that. Quarter your force now goes by from downtown Gauss rifle.
I did that against an executioner with my brother once. He didn't appreciate it. No, it wasn't a one-shot Gauss rifle. It was a large laser followed by a medium laser to the head in the same turn. That's bad luck, but it is a thing that happens.
Yeah, that's just how the dice rolls. I mean, I've had to explain this to a guy at our store. Dice go bad against him, and suddenly he's just like, "Why do I even play this game? Doom."
I've had friends like that too in other games as well. So the dice are the dice. They should be they should be more or less fair and balanced, more or less.
But sometimes they spike, and you just got to deal with it.
Yep. Unless there's odd, multiple sixes being rolled in situation where multiple.
Let me check them dice. Let me see them dice. Hey, why you go to the bathroom with the dice? Come back here.
It happened in a 40K tournament I was in. Things got a little bit weird with a guy, and he strangely had another set of dice ready to play as well. If people started commenting about his dice, he had another set of dice he could use. Wasn't that weird?
That's why if you're going to do that, you rotate dice. You save those for those. I need to hit that.
No, you just don't cheat. See, that's another thing you can do.
Yeah, there's the basic ethical version.
Don't
do it.
Well,
the last clan event I have is Case Apollo, where the Goliath Scorpion take Apollo from Clan Jade Falcon, and then have to fight the Snords Irregular because they're in the same region of space.
Just because.
Well, there you go. It's I do have a lot more stuff about the clans, but it's all a lot of small things for the clans that I have. While for the Inner Sphere portion of things right now, what I've got written up is the fight on the St. Ives Federated Sons Capellan border. And that's, 10 years of fighting with multiple planets at multiple times. And this is more descriptive. It's basically, I'm trying to write it like those War of 3039 book, Bush War books, things like that, like each planet, what happened on this planet, that planet, etc. So it's a little bit harder and a little bit longer. First phase I've got complete. Second phase I've got some of it written down. Third phase I've just got the movements. Fourth phase I've just got the movement. Fifth phase I've just got the movement. Like, if I go and start writing all of that, it's going to take a lot of time. But it's part of what we can do and part of what everybody can basically participate in. I mean, we're probably gonna start having games and start maybe broadcasting a couple of them if possible as well. Using this, some people are making a very nice list for the Mandrill Spirit Wars. There might be a lot of conflict there. Yes, there's already a start point and an end point. We know who wins, we know who lose, but doing the actual battles is also a lot of fun in these kinds of situations. So.
I also completely messed up how the clan structure works.
Oh.
So thank you, Crab, for showing me how that actually looked like.
Mm-hmm. You were making lances instead of stars?
No. I was making stars, but I only had like one command formation.
Oh.
And then I like to save them so just per star.
That is partially me being an absolute goober for spreadsheets, and all trinaries need a command star to run the trinary, in my opinion, and rolling out from the Crusaders book, it has all those charts in the back saying, so I random rolled, all right, what the different stars are going to be in the trinary. Okay, now what size mechs are actually in the star? If you deep dive it, they have charts for everything. It gets very funny.
Well, they add charts for everything. Nowadays, it's a little bit less, let's say. What I'm probably going to mess with and just start posting is more mechs, more variants, more things like that in a near future. So we've got that. I'm going to have that moving. I've got some bios written up still for more clan commanders. Gives us more things to talk about. And I've got vacation next week for my birthday week. So I'm taking a week of vacation.
Sabbatical.
Paid sabbatical is a good thing. Yes. And I'm probably going to be posting a bunch of stuff just to, fill this out. And I'm going to start looking at some people to try to learn how to make decent PDFs rather than just copying and pasting stuff. We're going to try to have things look a little bit nicer and a little bit more serious, let's say, for the future.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Try to be more motivated with this year. Vengeance worked fairly well, but right now I'm just not in the brain space to do it. So I'm going to work on this. I might go back to the other brain space later, etc.
Well, it depends on how far you get. You could almost catch up to.
Secret to winning is to roll the dice less. Lol sounds silly, but it works. Yes, in a way. I mean, if you have a few good rolls rather than multiple mediocre rolls, it might be better.
Yeah, but I gotta pre-roll out all the ones.
Yes, I know people who also do that. I do know people who do that. And I might need to start digging for pictures. I'm going to try to use as little AI as possible in this one. So I might steal pictures. I might nab actors and actresses to put in as people. I've already done it with a few. So
Rip Lance Riddick, you were the GOAT.
I will always be available to be your nude model.
I'm not sure.
We don't need to subject the people to that torment.
Hey, the offer's still there. You know,
there
some
is an
people
offer.
deserve it.
So
I'll wear a maple leaf. Don't worry about it.
It'll be red, right?
No, I'm not a communist.
Well, I was playing up to the Canadian.
Never mind. The offer stands if available, but I understand.
So we've got tomorrow. We've got the three samurais. So the Rokurokubi, the Itotsume Kozo, and the Shiro review, because those three mechs are in the same category. So I just merged them together, and there's definitely not enough variance for all of to make a video on each of them. So that was a good thing. And I'm working on Aotokos for the week after, because I mean, let's just do all the samurais back to back with the Adamoto, the three, and then the Aotoko. I don't have enough Najinatas to actually do a video on a Najinata either, because that one's also another one that kind of looks samurai-ish, if I remember right. Is it the Najinata?
I thought that
yes,
was just
it's
a big
got
brick.
It's a big brick. If anybody knows any other samurai mechs, just tell me and I'll try try to just slot them in. Got to try to give as much time as possible to the people doing the Warhammers. I want to do the Warhammer, but it's always I only have 2 from CGL. I've got 1 that I printed that came out right. All the others came out wrong.
Did you already do the Nodachi?
Nodachi?
Yeah.
No, I did not do the Nodachi. I have a model for it. It doesn't come out very well. There's enough variants that it can warrant its own video. And it's officially the first mech with a sword. So it might be a thing to talk about. I'll look into if I can get a couple.
Oh god, I forgot there was an experimental one.
He looks like he has issues.
I was about to say. Well, most of the stuff from experimental TROs.
Strange decisions.
One of
I will drop off here. You all have fun.
Have a very nice day. We're gonna hand out like in a couple, anyways, a couple minutes, not even maybe. So, what was it, Crab?
That mech is one of the few that the Bears actually kept around hilariously.
Is there a C version of it?
No. They kept the base variant, if I recall.
And Come on, like swap out those MRM 20s for LRM 20s at least.
Wait.
Crumb's army likes swords and hatchets on their mechs.
What about with the new MRM rules?
I mean, if you have access to clan LRMs, you've got no reason to keep MRMs around.
True.
That's the main thing. With the new MRM rules, this thing is going to be a little bit more relevant, I think. I mean, it's not a bad mech.
That was the era of them putting MRMs on everything just to give the DC something to do.
I mean, they're MRM 20, so you can swap them for LRM 15s with no issue either. So if you want to have a 70-ton Axeman with 2 LRM 15 instead of the... it's an odd mech. I'll have to look into it and try to see how it plays as well, because I try to sometimes do that as well when I review stuff. So, yeah. Oh, it uses the Lord's Light 2 ERPPC. Well, there you go. Everybody loves.
Because they had all those left over from people taking them off the Panthers.
The Panthers, the Grand Dragon, the Thug, the Hatamotos. Everybody's got Lord Light's 2 PPCs.
No, I think the actual reason was because people were switching to one out on the Panther.
Yeah, you don't put any RPPC on a mech that doesn't have double heat sinks. You just don't do that. And they did that. I mean,
so there was excess surplus of them.
All right. Well, we're going to end there. So I thank everybody for watching. And I hope you guys have a very nice rest of your evening. I'm going to have to try to sleep as well. I've been really tired for the past week. So might be an idea to just take a little break on my side. So I hope you guys have a nice day. Bye-bye.
You too.
Peace.
Bye.